most players, they don't end up in cutscenes, but he did. And not just for the main story. He would also show up in prisons, refugee camps, and soup kitchens. Right, so today we're going to be talking about the topical nature that was the papacy of Pope Francis, the ultimate gamer pope. Now, you might be wondering, how was he an ultimate pro gamer? Now, besides just being given Undertale, which I want to say he was the one that was given Undertale because he took over in like 2013. And I feel like Undertale came out after 2013. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with the fact that he was the one handed a copy of the Undertale. So today we're gonna go over top 10 gamer moments of Pope Francis. Number 1, he spanned. Fuck. Number 1, he sped ran the papacy. You see, he is the first Latin American pope in history. Most of the rest of them were like crackers and stuff, just like white boys. Like, I mean, one of them was, I can't say what he was. He was a youth of a certain group that existed back during World War II. I want to say that was that one. So anyway, what sort of a build did Pope Francis bring to the table? Well, he was Jesuit class, his starting zone was Buenos Aires, and his build was that of pacifist, surprisingly enough, and through those combinations, he was able to successfully do all sorts of cool gamer things. He achieved this while having maxed out charisma and just he equipped only in a humble robe. Next one, number 2, his second big gamer move. He helped to update the moral firmware of the church. Now, let's go over some of these these hot fixes. He brought out the Who Am I to Judge patch for all of the characters that were labeled under queers. So, instead of prior popes who were very much anti the gays, he was very much, maybe the gays shouldn't be persecuted. And because of that, he got additional... What's a good game? Listen, I'm not a capital G gamer, but for the sake of this bit, let's go with, he got all the subscribers on Twitch. That's right. Pope Francis, best Catholic streamer on Earth. He got all of them subs. He got all the bits. Next one. He nerfed capitalism with a strong debuff to greed. That's right. He went after big business and said, hey man, maybe you shouldn't be milking the planet like you milk your wife and or a cow. Maybe you should have longevity planned out instead of short-term gains and goals. Because after all, how are you gonna build an empire if there's nothing to rule over? It is funny to me that most big billionaire businesses are less... When Dr. Eggman is a better villain than you, maybe you fucked up. Oh, also, he put out some patch notes for balancing hell by putting emphasis on mercy that wasn't originally in the game engine, and because of that, he also reskinned some of the old UI, which, listen, it's been, what, 1,600 years or so? It was bound to happen. It needed to happen. Let's go on to the third pro-gamer move of Pope Francis. He activated the multiplayer mode, or rather, he modded it in. He patched the church so that it could work with other religious institutions. He teamed up with imams, rabbis, as well as the Dalai Lama for certain co-op missions, such as World Peace, The Impossible Raid. He also included such bangers as the Climate Accord Reborn. He even included We All Hate War. Even the RNG is bad. That's in parentheses. So, he was the first pope to bring about PvE events on livestream. And because of that, there has been an increase in sub for sub in between different streamers. He unlocked. Okay, so number 4, he unlocked the achievement Humility. You see, this man, he wasn't all about the Pope Mobile. He wasn't about that meta. He drove a 2014 Ford Focus. This was a man of the people. He would drive around the Vatican City, one of the cities with the worst pickpocketing in the world, only next to like DC, and he would just roll around in his whip like a regular human being. And unlike living in like the other fancy pants popes, he didn't live up in the I can't pronounce that word. He didn't live up in a palace penthouse suite. He lived in a starter home. He lived in an apartment. Like a broke 20-year-old. He unlocked the achievement Too Humble to Stumble by wearing thrift store vestments at a state dinner. What a gamer. What an OG. His 5th major gamer movement, he was the king of side quests. You see, his favorite quest line was that of the environmental stewardship. You see, he took on an optional boss fight, one that was hidden for so many years. People talked about it for decades. It was on all sorts of forums, and people were hunting it down, and it was called Climate Change. You see, he took on this optional boss fight, and not only did he not win, which is the ultimate gamer move, he was able to tell other gamers about the weaknesses of it, though, so that future gamers could beat this optional boss fight. He was able to tell them that the meta, the current planet that they reside on, is low on HP, and that it was a timed event, and that if they don't act soon and defeat climate change, the game's all over. There's nothing else. He named this strategy Our Common Home, which triggered the global side quest of recycling, lowering emissions, and no longer rage-quitting ecosystems entirely. And because of that, this is entered into the list of the top 10. Number 6. He was a big guy of Easter eggs. Not just because it was the day before he died, which was also the day that he had to meet J.D. Vance, famed fucker of couches. But he also just showed up randomly in places. You see, most players, they don't end up in cutscenes, but he did. And not just for the main story. He would also show up in prisons, refugee camps, and soup kitchens. People would say and go, "Man, was that the Pope?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, it's poping time." And he'd pope all over them. And because of that, they would get the morality stat boost of +3, just for him being there. Just for him poping all over them. Now, we're on to part 7. The 7th one. A glitch in the system. This man, with his build, with his coat so white, will he help fix these bugged out save files tonight? And by bugged out save files, I'm talking about clerical abuse scandals and the Vatican bureaucracy. You see, decades of the church doing all sorts of things to small children, mostly boys, has led to the save file containing numerous issues that I cannot properly speak about on YouTube because I would like to one day be monetized. But rather than rage quitting these issues and starting over with a new save, he patched out what he could, banned some corrupted mods, and apologized to the player base. Now, I don't think that that's enough to have recompense for all the bad things that have happened. But hey, the bar is so low that we have to consider this a gaming moment for the Pope. Next up, a Catholic concept that I know little about, and I tried doing some research on, and I won't lie. I only vaguely know about this. So I'm just gonna give some generalizations and explain the number 8, which is Catholic people get to come together and talk about things in a synod, or I think that's how it's synod. Anyway, it's a place where important Catholic people come together and vote on stuff. He allowed women into this, which, as you know, gamers and women are natural enemies. And so for this man to invite women to vote on Catholic things, he split the player base. And but you know, he made it a more varied environment, because guess what? Keeping half the population out of your decision making sometimes fucks things up. Maybe all of those kids wouldn't have been mistreated if women were allowed to vote in the process. And thankfully, he let them do it after 1,400 years, I'm assuming. Oh. They got to speak in the dialogue tree this time. Of course, we have to move on to the final boss of his life, and that is health challenges. His final boss, like any other high-level character, he had to deal with a lot of debuffs that came up over time. You see, he was playing a survival game in which the average player only reaches like level 80, and then they die. His debuffs included sciatica, colon surgery, and double pneumonia. Admittedly, I don't know if he had pneumonia twice at the same time. I don't think that's how it works. I think he got it twice in a row. So let's just, you know what? Let's say that he did in fact have pneumonia twice at the same time somehow. What a legend! What a gamer! Still, despite all that, he logged in daily. He preached, he held masses, and he maintained his streak, the most important thing. And because of all that, he's a real one. If you don't do your dailies, how can you call yourself a gamer? I don't care if your skin is itchy, or that you had your... I am assuming he had his colon removed, and he had pneumonia. I mean, admittedly, I would say his final boss was J.D. Vance, famed fucker of couches. But, you know, we'll go with let's just go to the 10th one. The game is over, and despite actually, he'll fuck you. He reached 88. Wait, did he reach 88? Pope Francis. Age. Man, 88. Oh, yeah, okay. So, at level 88, he finally died, but his ultimate gamer move was the legacy he left behind. You see, his legacies entered New Game Plus, and his values are embedded in so many people. He voted like, I think one of the things I read said 70% of all the cardinals or whatever was voted by him. I'm not quite sure. The most I know about the Pope and stuff is mostly stuff from Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood and other such pop culture osmosis. You see, and the Pope during Assassin's Creed 2 is also a gamer, because he got into a fist fight with the protagonist. I don't think that Pope Francis got into a fist fight with anybody, but listen, I'm just saying, it would have been a lot better if he did. Anyway, his final patch notes included, Humanity.exe now requires Empathy.dll to function properly. Man, I can't even read over my own goddamn notes. I had to gamerify all this shit. Forgiveness is still OP, but we can't nerf it. It's too good. If you nerf it, shit's fucked. And his final words, keep playing the good game. Love is the meta. And with that, with this discussion of the pro gamer, Pope Francis, freshly dead, his corpse might still be warm as I could say these words. Let's all remember that he was one of the least bad popes. I'd say the best, probably the best pope. But like I said, the bar's on the floor. I should do an entire video about all these goofy-ass popes in history. Anyway, have fun. Don't do what a lot of Catholics do. Have a good night.